Hey, what's up DIY Nation? Welcome back to YouFloor. Hey, before you click off this video, did you know that YouTube says that 60% of you guys will still be here after 30 seconds? Now, why do you think it is that 40% of the people click off just because I say, hey, welcome back to the channel? That is crazy. Anyway, thank you guys for hanging out. We're almost to the 30-second mark, so let's get started.
What's up, you guys? Welcome back to YouFloor, the channel bringing you tips and tricks to help you with your next flooring project. And today we're in a bathroom. We're going to be laying some LVP. Now, the reason I have you here with me is to show you about some custom transitions. The customer, he does have a walker with wheels, and he's been hitting these stoops. You know, as you can see right here, there is these big marble transitions. Today we're here to talk about transitions and the fact that sometimes when you get a good deal on LVP, it doesn't always come with a matching transition. So what do? Sometimes you can make your own transitions, and today that's what we're going to do. Only on these, we're going to make them a slope. That way, if a wheelchair or a walker with wheels needs to get in here, they can do it with great ease. So let's not waste any time and dive right in, guys. Let's go.
So for our transition, I'm using a 2x6 that I ripped down to 4.5 inches. If you have a 10-inch table saw, you could be able to use the whole 2x6, but I've got that 8.25 DeWalt put out. So we could use either one of them. That's what you're left with. That worked out great. I think I'm gonna go with this one right here, and then just sand that down right there. All right, guys, here we go. To get rid of any rough spots and get this thing super flat, I'm using a belt sander, but be careful, you can take too much away. Hey guys, that's nice. See in the end too. All right, that's our guy. So now I'm just gonna get in here and carve it up the way I want it, where I can bring it down to a sharp point and let that little piece dive down inside, so that way it's pretty custom. This needs to be flattened out at the top so it joins back in with my LVP. Does that make sense? I hope that's recording. So we're gonna be like that, see? Like that. And then of course I'll round that over a little bit right there so it's smoother, but that's our cut. To get this thing rounded over and flat so that it matches the LVP on the floor, I'm using a palm sander. It's really great for fine tuning things like this. You can see that that slope is gradual now. It's gonna be nice. So now I just gotta get in there and cut my little line, my little lip to lip up on top of my board there, and I should be good to go. Alright guys, so we got this cut right here. It was pretty simple. I just raised it up till it was right there, ran it through, and then turned it that way, and that was after sanding this. So that looks pretty good. Right now what I'm going to do is try to take this back and figure out where I'm going to do my little T-part like that fits down inside the little gap that I've got there. I think we can get a little bit closer. We're going to find out. Alright guys, here we go. Yeah, that's about that thick there. Perfect. Just needs to come in right there and drop right there. After I got my test piece cut, I used it to make sure that it was going to be able to slide up underneath the jambs. I slid it as close as I could and used my oscillating tool to finish it off. And I just did the same thing on the other side. It made for a perfect fit and easy for the transition to slide underneath both sides. As you guys can see, once I slide this thing up down inside there, it'll roll right underneath that. That's gonna be perfect. And it's just like LVP vinyl thickness lower right here, so once we wrap this thing, that's going to be beautiful. Let's check the other side. Look at that. Same thing. This is going to go right up underneath it. Alright, so we just got to go make this thing, so let's go figure that out. And so this is the end profile of what it looks like up close. So you guys can see we're about to just go wrap that up right there. Try to make this to a little bit more of a point right here, and that way there's no issue getting in and out of here. But anyway, that's what we got right here. I am going to put some little blocks down inside there, or maybe just, yeah, I'm going to put some blocks in there, and then definitely we're going to glue this. Alright guys, let's get outside and wrap it up. Alright you guys, so you can see I already got a piece that started to peel here. And it wasn't recording, but anyway, I was explaining. What I just did here was, this was like this, and I scored it and snapped it, but I didn't break the skin on the other side. That's how you could do it if it wasn't already peeled up for you like that. Now, when you go to continue peeling the rest of it up, you're going to want to put your foot here and your foot here as close as possible, because as you're pulling it up, you're just going to end up snapping this. It'll still pull off, but it's just a pain to keep having to break it. Plus, it could crack right there. So that's what we're going to do right now, is put my foot here and try to pull the rest of this off. And I'll face it this way so you can actually see what I'm doing. And I'm just going back and forth, getting my foot closer as I do it. Alright guys, that's our guy right there. So that's what we're going to use to make this transition with. Alright. Okay team, so we got all the parts that we need. Everything is taken care of. You saw that we did test fit inside with the raw wood right here. I got my heat gun. That's going to come into play later, and you'll understand why. If you're out here doing it on a hot day, and it's so hot that your vinyl is flexible, you may be able to get away with doing it without a heat gun. I did actually do one that way, then it got a little bit cold and the wind was blowing, and this is starting to heat up as a matter of fact. So you can see it's bending right there without. What you don't want it to do is crack. It's brittle, so just a little bit of heat on it will help it to bend it. So let's go ahead and get started here, and I'll show you what it is we're actually going to do. Alright you guys, I'm just going to hit this a little bit, just get it to lay a little bit flatter. Oh, look at that. See the wrinkles go away, boom, 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 it's laying flat. I love it. So that's just to get it started here, get it laying a little bit flat, relaxed, loose. Good, nice. Alright, so this is what we're using right here. I call it spider web glue. That's because when it comes out in these big white streams. So what you want to do is spray it on here, and then also spray it on here, and then you just want to wait a few minutes, maybe a few seconds for it to tack up. Basically, you're wanting to look for when you touch it, it feels kind of sticky, which it kind of does that instantly, but it says to wait a few seconds or a few minutes. I can't remember what it says. You'll have to read the can, but anyway. You'll see how long it takes me to do it, and that's how long I suggest you do it. Alright, so I'm going to shake the can up really good here. Alright, you'll see this stuff comes out now looking like a spider web, so I'm just going to... That would be pretty good and saturated. I got plenty on there to go anywhere, so I'm going to come on with this one now. Now once I get it stuck on there, I will spray the bottom of it too, because when we fold it over, you'll see it'll be glued on the bottom. That way it doesn't tear or slip out from the top. Alright, that's looking good. I like it. Yeah, so none of it stuck to my fingers. It's pretty tacky to the touch. So I think we're good to go. So I'm no measure or anything. I'm just going to lay this thing down and try to eyeball it straight. So that's what I'm going for. And more of it needs to be towards the bottom. So I'm going to go about, let's say, about right there, and press that down. Just like that. Okay, like that.
Now I'm going to throw some glue on the bottom here and on the under the lip underneath there. Now we'll wait for that to dry, come back, fold it over. All right guys, it's time to fold it over for sure. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut this because it goes underneath the door jambs. There's no sense in keeping it on here now. It's just more to contend with. Now, if this was out in the open, I might have to fold it over and do something a little bit different. But right now, this is what I'm doing with this. All right, I'll make it a little easier. All right, so I guess it doesn't really matter which side we do first, but I'm gonna flip this up so I can heat the back side of it up. Yeah, it bends over pretty easy once you heat it up. Yeah, that's nice. Seems easy to work with. Look at that, like it was custom made in the shop. I like it. All right, so now we got to do the other side. That's almost stretchy. That's awesome. I press it down on that little crack right there. Alright. That's awesome. Let's look at the top of that. Boom. Now this is just Sharpie from a previous job that I wiped right off with some acetone. This thing is ready to rock and roll. We just got to cut this little line right here. Look at that, guys. Professional, custom made transition to fit any LVP job. All right, guys, let's go get this thing installed. All right, you guys, it looks like we knocked that one out of the park. That is installing a custom-made transition for wheelchair accessibility on a slope. And we did that using LVP by skinning it and gluing it to the back. Guys, I think that's gonna do it for me on this one. If you enjoyed what you saw today, help me out by smashing that like button, and that will send this video out to more people. Definitely will help the channel grow, and I definitely appreciate it. Also, if you guys want to become part of the DIY family, if you're already back for your second or third video, you might as well go down and hit the subscribe button and make sure you turn on notifications. That's going to do it for me on this one, guys, and I definitely hope to see you on the next one. Until then, take care and stay safe. Peace.